Hi everyone, welcome back. This is probably going to be off the back of the ML36 repair kit video. But here we have the finished Minotuar M4. This has been built for kicking Mustang. This is a custom HPA powered M4 with a Redline N7 Gen 2 Milsim engine, which is mechanical. It only shoots semi-auto. But there's no batteries, there's no FC or anything like that. You literally just hook up the air and away you go. A little bit through the build, James decided he wanted to put HPA stock on there. So we've fitted that. We've had a couple of issues. Now, this gun has been built onto a Novrich M4 AEG. To be honest with you, the gun was absolute crap. But the reason that we used it was the idea was taking something that was useless or just, rubbish, and turning it into something that he could use and make content with. So I'm just going to pull the stock off here so I can demonstrate to you how this thing works. So you use these little air tanks that go on the stock. I think the idea from a comment that was on one of the last previous videos that I did is that once you fit the stock, you just fill it up while it's on the gun, so you don't actually take the gun apart, because with the valves and the gauge and stuff, you have to either remove this stock or just loosen the screws so it'll pivot down, so you can get the air tank on. But the reason why I'm taking it off completely is because the only bottle that I've got air in at the moment is a 48 CI tank, which obviously won't go on there at all with the stock on. So we took this Novrich M4, gutted it, converted it over to the HPA engine, stripped the front end off, got rid of all that, cut down, rethreaded the barrel to 14 clockwise. Then we took a Mark 23 silverback suppressor, and I've done a adapter collar. So if I'm going to be able to get this off, probably not easily with the launcher on there. Took the silverback suppressor from 16mm positive to 14mm negative. Fitted a Geisley Mark IV 7-inch rail. Now, I don't think Geisley ever made this rail in this size, but I actually managed to find, you'll actually see some light Geisley markings there if you look closely under the cover from previous. This was actually a rail I found on AliExpress. It was like 30 quid. So it was really inexpensive. I bought it on a whim thinking it was going to be rubbish. Turned up, it actually turned out to be ideal. So this actually sat on one of my MWSs for quite a while. And that's obviously been transplanted now onto this build. So it's took a bit of time. I just haven't been able to get any time to work on this gun as well as other people's guns. So I've had some time off work, which has just enabled me to spend the time and catch up. So I've only got about just under 1,000 PSI in this tank, and I haven't done him any custom cut foam in here just as a time constraint. The foam laser cutter just isn't hooked up at the moment. It's going to take a while to get that up and running on a new computer. So we'll get it done. So he's got the quiet mechanical HPA engine in the M4, which is semi-auto, so he can run it up to DMR limits if he wants to, or he can run it down at the dual and have it quieter. And then the other half of it is, of course, this ML36 tag launcher. So he's got the quiet M4, and then he's got the boomstick at the bottom, and that's the approach of the Minotaur, the two horns, two different aspects of the build. So with these kits, you'll find they're very quiet. Even being mechanical, they're very quiet, but their reset is really loud. So just imagine you're in a hide, you see a target, you go to pick them off, maybe you're in a bush or something, nice and hidden in a ghillie, you pull the trigger, deadly quiet, hardly any noise whatsoever, but the reset is like a clap noise. It's really strange. Now you can rapid fire these pretty good, but the quietness, maybe you could do that as taking someone out, and then when the situation presents itself, you can reset it. Outside, it's probably going to be nowhere near as loud as what it is in this enclosed room that echoes quite a lot. So yeah, that's where we are. I did want to put a different grip on it. I wanted to put this grip on, but it just won't work with the gearbox. We had to do some finicking around trying to get this air stock on with the gearbox, because the gearbox has got this weird quick spring change system. So we've got a prototype Flamingo AEG rubber in here with a Lilacs barrel shortened down, and of course a, what do you call it, a Crytac hop unit, rotary hop unit. So if he wanted to, he could extend the barrel up there, but he's not really going to have the need to. Just running it straight off the bat through the chrono, it was running at about 1.5 joules on a 2, 1.3, 1.4 joules on a 3. Of course, he's going to set it up for his weight. So I imagine he'll be using like 0.48 or something, and then he can set the power on the regulator and then lock it off. And being semi-only, you've got a little bit more wiggle room as to power limits on certain sites compared to if you're running full auto. So this is the Minotuar build, and it's took a bit of time. I've only coated the rail, the suppressor and the body. It's been done in mil-spec green. It's probably not going to come across great on camera because there's huge LED lights above me, and it probably does look a little bit reflective, but I could assure you that it's not. It's really matte. It's quite a nice colour, to be honest. But the only problem I have with mil-spec green, it's a lot like the Magpul Stealth grey, is when you go to paint it, obviously when you're Cerakoting, the coating's really thick. It's almost like gloopy compared to the usual thin style coating that you put on usually. So it was a bit more of a bugger to do compared to other paint jobs, but we got there in the end. So you could see his Kicking Mustang logo came out really nice, and it's embossed into the metal so it won't disappear. And of course we have the Minotuar logo as well. So I think he'll really enjoy this. Hopefully he could create some great content and show us on YouTube. Like him or hate him, honestly, I don't have a problem with the guy. He makes some videos. He they are very clickbaity in the titles and such, but that's how honestly, that's probably how you become successful on YouTube, because people are more likely to click on that than something else. So, but we're not getting into that today. This is just an interesting build that I've done for him. I'm sure he will have loads of joy using this. As with any custom build, there can always be little hiccups. So if it does need fine tuning or anything, I'm sure he'll let me know, and then we can make the relevant adjustments. I've tried just a couple of different mid-cap magazines out here. I've got some old original Magpul P-Mags, 120 rounders. I've tried like the Battle Axe mids. I've tried Aries mid-caps. I think I had a PTS one in there as well, which seemed to work fine as well. So all those magazines seem to feed okay. Power's coming through consistently, which is good. And we're ticking off all the boxes. Now, this is the second time I've filmed this video, just because I filmed this and then I went on to record the M249 gas blowback video and needed space on my phone, deleted it thinking I'd already uploaded it to the computer. But I hadn't, so I deleted it, so I've had to do it again. So yeah, very cool indeed. Different to what I usually do, and I've tightened that up and I need to put that on there. Not the usual build I'm normally doing. Although I'm very much not a gas blowback orientated channel, I just think a lot of releases nowadays in the airsoft industry, they're just very boring. The only thing that seems to be, getting me at the moment is the gas blowback stuff. So I'm not sure whether I'll post the video about I bought the APFG or the VFC MCX Rattler. And I ended up returning it less than 24 hours later, because honestly, the gun was just rubbish. Now, I could have had a lemon. It's very possible, but honestly, I've had experience with VFC M4s before, back when I had Bespoke, and I predominantly used to run a lot of MWSs, and that's always what you compare it to, because that is the benchmark. And to this day, I just haven't had a good experience with a VFC M4 platform. I had high hopes for the MCX Rattler because it's their new versions, their version 2 and version 3 magazines. I thought, hey, let's give it a go. The MPX is an absolutely astonishing replica. I highly recommend it if you could get them. Might be a bit harder now because I imagine SIG are clamping down on unlicensed releases. But the Rattler, unfortunately, I have ordered a load of bits for the MP5K build, the VFC one. Don't have it to hand right now. I think it's downstairs, but a load of parts for that. We're going to modernise it up a little bit, make it a little bit more usable. I've got a bunch of mags coming for it. The M17, which that would have already gone uploaded. Can't remember when that's going to be uploaded, so I do want to get some more of those. They do an X carry, so I want to perhaps have a go with one of them as well. And we'll go from there and see what else is released. Oh, actually, I have ordered the new Lambda Defense GH M9. It's like a B&T replica. It was really cheap on WGC. I just happened to go on there, and it said they had low stock. I think it was like £126. Obviously, you're going to get stung for import and stuff when it's here, but I thought let's have a crack at that. So that's coming up as well. So thanks for tuning in this video. Any questions about this, pop them down in the comments below. I'll do my best to answer them. And of course, you can go and submit video requests on the Jaeger website right now to ask for content to be made, as long as it's, you know, reasonable. So as always, from me and Bench, thank you very much for following this build. I'll put a playlist in with all the videos on the channel somewhere, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.